Yeah, he's gonna call. Well, I know Brandon Bean announced it earlier in the media, so I saw him in the hallways. I thought, well, you can come on and do my presser too. But no, I'm excited for him having that opportunity.
Welcome to Altitude Football. It's your boys, DMac and Coach Sanford. Oh, this was a banger today, Coach.
Oh, Sean
This
Payton
was a banger.
Sean Payton never actually verbalized Davis Webb is going to be calling the plays for the team that I'm the head coach of, or Davis Webb is the play caller. It literally was perfect. It was perfection. It was vintage Sean Payton, where he's like, "You can have it. You can have it." So good, man.
All right, we're gonna get to all of it. I got a bunch of cuts. It's great stuff, and the yelling at Kliss about Bo and his brittle ankles. We'll get to that as well.
Big predisposed guy.
We'll get to it. We're brought to you by our great friends at Journey Spice. You can save yourself 10% using the QR code, using this QR code or the code 2026 playoffs. No matter what the meal is, it goes better with Journey Spice and singles, doubles, quads. Great packaging, flavor in, plastic out. More on Journey Spice in a little bit, but they're our great friends and we love them very much. All right, well, here is the official kind of initial announcement, Coach. Here, all right, here's how he laid it out in the beginning.
First off, I think it was something that I kind of knew, during the year. He and I visited on a handful of occasions. We're talking about Davis Webb. He's extremely talented. With regards to play calling, it's something that, I think he'll be really good at it. And I know that's like, man, are you going to give up play calling? And I would only do that if I felt like it would help our team. I'll still be involved with what we do offensively, just like what we do defensively. But I do think he has a gift. I think he's real sharp. I'm glad he's on our staff. Typically, any decision we make like that is to benefit our team. So I'm looking forward to it. I challenged him in the off season prior to that preseason game. He did a good job. But I think it'll help us, and certainly I wouldn't do it if I didn't think it was going to help our team win. You get to a point where you're focused strictly on improving your team any way you can.
So that's not the announcement?
Did he ever clearly say it? He did the Steve Martin during Father of the Bride when he was giving away his daughter begrudgingly, where he kind of starts down the road of saying regarding play calling, and then he does the I mean, was that not Steve Martin in Father of the Bride parts 1, and then 2? I mean, you name it, man. It's awesome. And I thought Sean was fantastic in his press conference today. It was, you know what today was? Today for Sean Payton, outside of being mad at, I think it was Kliss.
We'll get to it.
Okay.
But it was we'll get to it.
Outside of that moment, which I understand why. I mean, that probably was a headache that was dealt with by the Broncos PR, Sean Payton and Bo Nix themselves, right? And I understood that, and I thought that was going to be a tough situation, right? But I thought this was a press conference for Sean Payton that was all predicated on legacy and coaching tree. And, and like, hey, Mike Shanahan, Kyle Shanahan, you got your little tree? Hey, check my guys out, man. We're coming. We're coming, baby.
Dude, get out the South Park wheelbarrow. When he stepped on that stage, did that reek of a guy who knows he makes $20 million a year? And like, this is the way I'm going to lay this out. All right, let me go through a couple of other things here because it was so great. In my opinion, like the swagger factor was off the charts with Sean Payton today. Okay. Because this could be in theory, a tough move. You're passing this over. But boy, did he own the moment. First, when did you start thinking about this?
It was something I was already moving towards before anyone had even discussed it. It was mid-season.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I hate to gloss myself on this, but if you remember, Coach, I did ask Sean Payton, spurred on quite a bit by Scott Hastings, by the way, but I did say to him directly, are you considering this, changing the play calling? And he goes, no, we like our operation. Do you remember that moment?
Yeah, I do.
We like how we do things. And that was kind of mid-season because, let's face it, the offense was faltering. It just wasn't happening even in mid-season, for sure.
No, you're right. And I mean, there are a couple factors that obviously Sean Payton was going to make it very clear. And I think this is accurate. I don't think that this is a thing that happens a lot in college football with some of these guys that are, just so above and beyond, bigger than anybody else in the communities they're the head coach of.
Yeah.
But a lot of them lie, right? And I think Sean wanted to make it very clear that it was Sean Payton's decision, not ownership's decision.
Right.
It wasn't that Greg and can't come to me, Condi, potential head coach of the Browns several years back.
Louis was like, hey, mate, it's not how we operate now.
It's not good. It's not good. This offense, it looks like some of the failed British teams that I've watched.
Right. We're P10. We want to be P1. We're P10. We want to be P1. Overtake, mate. Yeah.
So I think that he wanted.
By the way, to support you, listen to this next cut, because another part of it was Bo part of things.
Oh, good.
Okay. All right. Here's how you got to hang on. It's near the end, but here we go on that.
And look, it's only if there's someone that you feel like is good enough to do that, and he'll have that opportunity. And like I said, having done this before, I can recall how it was, and I'm sure there's going to be times where I said, this is what I want to run, but there's trust there. There's trust with his ability and trust in our relationship.
Was Bo kind of part of the calculus?
No. It could have been Bill.
It could have been Bill. Could have been Brian. Could have been, Bo Cephas. No, Bo wasn't part of it, Coach.
Yeah. All right. He wasn't. But I'm sure the synergy that was on display with Davis Webb and Bo Nix and the quarterback room, even from Sean Payton evaluating the feel of everything, that to me does show that Bo Nix at least had something to do with just even the vibe of it. I don't think he went to anybody in the building and said, I want Davis Webb to be my play caller, or else. I mean, what is Bo Nix going to do? Or else what? I don't know. I mean, you're 1-1. You're 1-1 in the playoffs. It's awesome, right? But like, you're not Peyton Manning at this point in your career, right?
Right.
You're not Tom Brady. You don't have the ability to tell ownership, I feel like I'm going to go to Tampa and have avocado tequila. You don't have that ability to do that. So, but I think there was some things that I felt being around training camp, all good stuff for Sean Payton, because it's a reflection of him and the decisions that he's made in terms of hiring Davis Webb as a young coach. But and then you watch that, I think it was the preseason game where Stiddy was on fire.
Yeah.
And that was the game that Davis Webb was calling. Heck, Sam Ellinger was on fire too. So there's a lot of it's crazy to me, because a lot of the stuff that I have verbalized on Altitude Sports Radio, either on our podcast here, Altitude Football, or during the season, Altitude After Dark, with this Davis Webb conversation, a lot of the stuff that I've verbalized, Sean kind of he ended up citing a bit, like Bill Parcells as somebody. I knew that Bill Parcells, known defensive play calling guru, at some point in his career gave up that responsibility, and it was probably around the same time.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Sean Payton, I'm sure you don't have the cut because it wasn't a total banger, but Sean Payton cites the relationship that he has with Bill Parcells, that Bill Parcells will ask him, even if it was the opposite of what he decided to do, Bill Parcells would just be the contrarian and say, so why are you still calling the plays?
Right.
And then and then conversely, if you make the young Davis Webb the play caller, Bill Parcells is still going to go, so tell me, why exactly did you do that? And he challenges you.
All right. Well, I don't have that exact, but I have. You're going down where I got. Let me play this then, because you're talking about micromanaging the situation. He was
100%.
asked about that. All right. So here is his response to that.
I probably micromanage all those areas. So it's not any one person's defense or special teams. It's the Broncos. And so there's some freedom, and yet you guys just haven't been in enough meetings.
That's what you were talking about, right?
Yep. And you know what? He does do that. I know that. I know for a fact that Sean Payton is intimately involved in special teams, in defense, and obviously in offense. And I think that he's, even at this stage of his career, as successful as he's been, obviously winning a Super Bowl for New Orleans, as successful as he's been as one of the best play callers in professional football with New Orleans, and even before that with the Cowboys and the Giants. I think now, even in his 60s, he is in his 60s, right?
Yeah.
Am I right saying that?
60, 62.
Okay. Even in his 60s, I think he's still, there's times where he learns when he may have overstepped his micromanagement. And then there's probably times where he hasn't enough. And I think he's still finding that perfect blend, but it's good that he, in his own mind, is realizing that the offense is really an extension of that he can still have control over ultimately what happens in terms of the schemes, but he doesn't have to be potentially bogging down the operation by being in charge of so many things, and then also responsible for the game day operation of calling every play.
But Coacher, at the end of the day,
I'm still going to call some plays on game days.
Yep.
I'm still going to call some plays on game days. Here you go, Davis Webb. This is going to be the biggest challenge. I actually do not envy Davis Webb. This is not an easy job here, bro.
I think it's going to go well. I think it's going to go well.
Okay.
I do. I think the fact that, man, I've been a part of noted egomaniac head football coaches, and I'm not, in this example, comparing Sean Payton to this person that went through the entire offseason, had an associate head coach of offense and an offensive coordinator, but was the play caller of the year before. And we went through the entire offseason, even the fall camp scrimmages against each other, not knowing who was going to call the plays on game day. The good thing about this is that he did come public. Now, I stand by what I said, Darren. He never clearly verbalized Davis Webb is the Denver Broncos offensive play caller.
No,
there was a lot of Steve Martin, father of the bride, talking about his daughter giving up to. I wish I had the son's name.
That's funny.
My wife has it right. She would help me if she was there.
Yeah, I mean, because he made a joke about Brandon Beane. If you don't understand that, Brandon,
I saw it
earlier today.
Where's he the GM at?
Buffalo.
The Bills, yeah.
And Davis Webb interviewed for a head coaching job, and Brandon Beane said, well, he'll be play calling, and, he's a talented guy. He'll be calling plays and whatever. And that's why this was a joke here.
Yeah, he's going to call. Well, I know Brandon Beane announced it earlier in the media, so I saw him in the hallways. I thought, you can come on and do my presser too.
It was so funny because he's going to call. He's going to.
I'm telling you, he couldn't do it.
He was right there.
He couldn't do it.
He's going to.
Dude, Sean Payton's been calling plays, whether it be for a middle school youth football team organization during his year in purgatory. Yeah. He's been calling offensive ball plays for how long?
Yeah, that, by the way, is Home Team starring Kevin James. You should check it out. It's a remarkable story, and he did struggle even as an assistant coach on that team, despite how bad they were. They got really better when he listen. Divorce is tough. That is so funny that he didn't quite come out all the way. Let me play that one more time. It's so
never
funny.
Did.
Yeah, he's gonna call. Well, I know Brandon Beane announced it earlier.
He's gonna, but he didn't officially say it.
No, he never said it with clarity. Obviously he is
so right. Exactly.
But it's funny because I was doing some work at Valor, and I got pinged like with the ESPN update right at 3.
Right.
I mean, it was like I knew that the presser was about ready to happen. 3:00, it says Sean Payton, like I think it was a Shefty or something, and it was the ESPN update that Sean Payton giving up play calling to Davis Webb, and the only quote in there was, "He's very talented." Something along the lines of, I would only do this if I knew it was good for the organization.
Right.
And I when I read those two headlines and the two quotes within the news flash, I said, that son of a gun never said that Davis was calling plays. But then I was all excited to watch the entirety of the press conference because I know how this works, man. Like I know, like it is truly raising your precious little daughter for 20, 25, 30 years.
Yeah.
And nobody's good enough. Nobody's good enough to be able to take that precious daughter off of your hands. In the case of Sean Payton, nobody's good enough to take the play calling daughter off of his hands. So even when it happens, there's an inevitability that it is happening, because this is how life works, man. We all get old. We all slow down. We all, we all are irrelevant at different times. I've certainly been there myself.
Yeah. And
you have to make the decision to let your daughter go.
You got to give her that American Express as she heads out for the West Coast. Do. There goes my life. Great.
Yep. Oh yeah.
That's it.
Sean Payton, good friends of Kenny Chesney.
He's giving it Kenny Chesney the American Express card, bro.
Oh yeah, and don't forget, man. If you haven't watched it recently, I highly recommend you doing it. Actually, the point in time that I became a Sean Payton fan was when the Boys of Fall kind of mini documentary came out. Yeah. And Sean Payton was actually speaking, I think, to a local high school program in Louisiana for Kenny Chesney's The Boys of Fall. They're good buddies. Good buddies.
There goes my life. That'd be so funny. That'd be a great question to him. Coach, does this remind you of the Kenny Chesney song, There Goes My Life? Like you just gave Davis Webb your American Express card. Kind of funny. Best of luck. Picture hangs up on the, oh my God, I'm going to have a tear. They're just like, it was little Davis Webb. I was putting his photo up on the refrigerator. I thought it was the biggest mistake of my life hiring somebody so young. But then I'm putting his face up on the fridge, and now I'm giving him the American Express card. It's a black card.
Man, I think it's more that Steve. I think he's more that Sean Payton is George Banks, and Annie, his daughter, played by Kimberly Williams, now married to Brad Paisley. Annie. Annie is play calling, and she gets married to a man from a wealthier family, much to his dismay.
Oh my God, so funny. All right, we have more though. Anything else on the play calling? Because I got the round 2 of this banger press conference, but not quite as juicy as that. But good. Anything else you want to say about the play calling? Yeah.
There's one thing that kind of, if you really broke this thing down and you were listening to the innuendos, I already mentioned it, that Sean Payton really wanted to set out to talk about his legacy, and like a proud papa, like George Banks himself, talking about his sons in the league, and his sons in the league are Joe Brady, right? He was with us, the Rat Pack, he called him.
Yeah.
And then you had Declan Doyle, who's now the Baltimore Ravens offensive coordinator. Davis Webb, who I frankly gave his first job to, is now one of the most sought after commodities, because guess where he learned how to do this? Right here with Daddy, right? Yeah. And so he did say something when he was talking about Declan Doyle that was really interesting. And I thought about this as it related to the follow-up questions about Davis Webb as an NFL head coaching candidate. He said, you don't get to choose when your guys are going to be able to be your guys.
Right.
And so I'm thinking about
not on my timeline.
Not on my time. Right.
Yeah.
And I thought about it as like, okay, this goes really well with Davis Webb.
Oh yeah.
What's he going to be next year?
Oh, we've already talked about this. We've already had the succession plan. And this is why I wondered if there was a little like, hey, if this Davis Webb guy is so special, why exactly do we have Joe Lombardi here instead of him? And Don't forget, Sean will have next year and the year after, 2 more years on his contract. If Davis Webb is so special and Bo Nix, and by the way, that does coincide with giving Bo Nix $60 million a year. And if you want to look at some history, look at Mike Shanahan underneath Dan Reeves with John Elway.
Yep.
Did not go great because there was a divide there. So, yes.
Oh, Darren.
Oh,
I wasn't going there. I wasn't going there.
How could you avoid it?
No, I was going because Sean Payton is truly bigger than life, and he is not Dan Reeves. Now, if you don't win a Super Bowl, then I think it probably blood's on both of their hands, maybe in the next 2 or 3 years. I don't know. I could be wrong on that.
Right,
but
hold on.
But real quick, where I went is the whole did he say not on my timeline? Was that his quote?
Yes.
So not on my timeline. It could mean that, wait a minute, if Davis Webb is gone after this year to be a head coach, am I going to name myself the play caller next year?
It's not. All right. I know where you're going. I know what you're saying, but I'm saying it ain't going to get there, brother. Like if Davis Webb is really like that and it's going great, Sean Payton's going to be kicked to the curb, bro.
No way. I'll fight you on that. Because
okay.
if he is the cat's meow, then that means the Denver Broncos won the AFC Championship and probably a Super Bowl.
Dude, bro, you are assuming so much.
About what?
You are assuming that Bo Nix and Sean Payton get along, okay?
Yeah.
And I
but
mean,
Darren, it's all about winning and losing, right? And okay, so Davis Webb, as the play caller, cannot outdo Sean Payton's 2025 season unless he A, wins an AFC Championship. Obviously, B would be a AFC Championship and a Super Bowl. Anything short of that will be either at the standard or below the standard. And therefore, Sean is the king of the castle. Game of Thrones, we're good. You win a Super Bowl. Guess who's the freaking first NFL head coach ever to win a Super Bowl, a world championship with 2 different franchises? It's Sean freaking Payton, not Davis Webb. You know that's true.
Sean's got 2 years to figure that out, bro. Because I'll tell you this. If we're handing Bo Nix, I don't know, $400 million guaranteed, or what the hell it'll be in 2 years, right? And we're paying him $60 million a year, they're going to side ownership. If there's a conflict between Bo Nix and Sean Payton, I guarantee you they'll side on Bo Nix's side, not Sean Payton. And there's Troy Aikman and Barry Switzer as an example. There's John Elway and Dan Reeves. There's Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. And Kraft,
Tom Brady and Bill Belichick.
Well, the Kraft made a decision.
I got you. I'm sorry. I thought you meant like the heir apparent was there with the quarterback.
In that particular case, ownership just had to make a choice. Am I going with the coach or the quarterback?
I'm picking up what you're putting down. Yep.
Okay. And Kraft went with Belichick. There's a whole documentary about this, so you can find it out for yourself. But he went with Belichick because he thought defensively they could get there. And that caused, obviously, major friction that exists to this day. And Brady goes down and wins the Super Bowl. If Kraft had to do it over, he would have definitely kicked Belichick to the curb and picked up another Super Bowl with Tommy Boy. But, whatever. You went with the coach, not the player. But that's never even mind that, because you will eventually side with whoever you're paying the most money to, and that will be Bo Nix in a couple of years. It's not the case now, though. It's not the case now. And this is why I think he was so sensitive about what I'm about to play for you. And this was something else. Hang on one second.
There's a world of flavor out there, and to find it, you have to take the journey. Journey Spice Company handcrafts the most premium spice and seasoning blends that have no sugar, no salt, are certified USDA organic, non-GMO, vegan-friendly, and always planet-friendly. You are going to love serving amazingly delicious creations while knowing you helped reduce single-use plastics. Make sure to search for Journey Spice Company on Amazon today.
Thank you to Journey Spice. We absolutely love you. Okay. Part 2 of this awesome press conference today. I mean, I've loved it. And good for Chris Thomason And good for Luke Evans. Want to give the Muggles their props, Coach, because somebody
Luke
had
was
to do
rolling,
it.
man.
Okay.
Luke was on a heater today.
The other big thing, in fact, I think I got it here. Hold on a second. Oh gosh, do I have it? Hold on. Oh gosh, do I not have it? Oh, that stinks. I got rid of it. All right. Anyways, it was the back and forth about Bo predisposed, his ankle, all that sort of stuff, right? And Sean said one thing, and Bo said something. Bo had his own press conference to kind of hash it out. And it was a Zoom call that Sean was upset that he felt Mike Kliss took something out of context. But he used the word predisposed. That was not at the Zoom call. I mean, he did the predisposed thing at just regular press conference, not the Zoom thing. But he's angry that Mike Kliss, he feels, takes something out of context. So while he was obviously, Coacher, well prepared to explain the play calling, look how he handled when he was asked about the conflict with Bo.
There was. Why don't you ask Mike? No, I'm not going to answer the question about an injury. Right here. Ask him. Ask Mike. Next question.
Dude, you want me to play that again? I mean, he is going right after Kliss here.
There was. Why don't you ask Mike? No, I'm not going to answer the question about an injury. Right here. Ask him. Ask Mike. Next question.
So let me just move forward. There was another question asked about something. And then good for Luke Evans to come back and say, what about the predisposed thing?
I'm not going to get into the injury. What I meant predisposed is there was a slight he's not, and there weren't multiple. So I have a problem, and Mike, I apologize. I have a problem when someone's quoting me to him on a conference call and they're inaccurate and they're one of our locals that shouldn't be. All right, next question.
Okay. So when he was describing the predisposed condition, he essentially did the same thing as he did at the beginning of the press conference,
right?
Where he never completed the sentence,
right?
Knowing full well that that's the quote that everybody wants. So what did Sean Payton do there? He said there was a little, and then there, and Mike, sorry,
Sorry, Mike.
But like, dude, like we listened to the Zoom call a million times, do we not, Darren?
Yes, of course.
What did Sean say?
Oh God, he was, it was a predisposed thing, and the doctor said, and blah 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 blah. I mean, what did he say? And then Bo had to have his own press conference to say no. It was like a one-time thing, and we went back and we saw what the ankle injury was, and it was a non-contact injury. Okay, yep. Bo's fibbing there. He didn't get Lindsey Vonn on the ski slopes of Milano. Okay, he planted and his ankle snapped. I mean, it's clear as day. And I don't know. It's probably a little bit of the truth, Coach, or somewhere in between. He probably doesn't have, because he's had multiple injuries on his ankles. And whether we were aware or not, I suppose that's on us. But Sean wouldn't have drafted him if he thought he was just going to be an injury-prone sort of guy.
Right.
Not like a Michael Penix situation here.
No,
but that being said, it wasn't a light matter. It wasn't laughing. You got this finger point at Kliss. That's not friendly. I mean, what does that say right there, right?
Okay, so was any of that? I read the situation from the coach's standpoint that he's already talked to Kliss. And it felt like he's talked to Kliss, but he needed to, in a slightly more jovial way than at times Sean Payton does when he gets very bristly with the media.
Yeah.
In a slightly more jovial way, he basically had to kind of poke fun at the Mike Kliss component of it so that he made sure that everybody knew that everything's fine.
Actually, you know what? I do have it. Look at this. Just to go back a little bit.
And it was like predisposed right at that when they always find a little bit more when they go in, and it wasn't a matter of if, it was a matter of when.
Didn't have any predisposed issues. Man, my ankles were feeling really good.
He said he had one in high school, and then he said he had one at Auburn.
I don't think he really should share how many surgeries I've had in the past, to be honest with you, but because I don't, he doesn't really even know that.
Oh, Darren,
That's not a Zoom call, bro. That's
Darren,
not a Zoom call.
that was brilliant, man. That was brilliant. That was not a Zoom call.
No, by the way, props to our guy Scotty Gange for putting that together at 9 News. I just kept it. That's good
Love
for
my
Scotty. Give him credit on that. But that's not a Zoom call.
Scotty was preemptively looking out for his boy Klesser to make sure that he had here's Exhibit A combined with Exhibit B, combined with Exhibit C and Exhibit D to all prove that Mike Kliss did not give out any inaccuracies with regards to the quote about being predisposed to injury.
Yeah.
And you knew who else read it that way? Bo. Read it that way.
Yeah. So
you knew who really read it that way? Bo Nix's agent, I'm sure.
Right.
Because it's all about money, man. It always is going to be about money and the next contract.
So this tells me couple things. Sean's been seething about this for weeks. And I'm going to guess it's the number one reason, not the play calling. My guess is this is the number one reason he wanted to keep a low profile over the Super Bowl and until now. I think he was getting himself pumped up, fired up for today. And
to spit it out, to be able to verbalize that, that Davis Webb is going to be. That's what he had to get himself. He had to get himself all
a
fired
little
up
bit.
for that.
But what really pisses him off is this Bo Nix stuff, because I do believe it's embarrassing that Bo Nix had a press conference after the owner.
Yeah.
I think it's embarrassing that Sean got caught. Notice he didn't say, "Hey, I really I had 2 lattes." Nothing like that. He didn't make fun of the situation, which he has in the past, which tells me this is a little bit more serious. Like you're messing. Oh, I don't know, man. To me, this feels like you're messing with our relationship here, and I'm not going to have it. I'm not going to deal with this crap. Plus, he violated his own rules about talking about injuries. He said he wasn't going to talk about injuries all year.
He even said it today, didn't he?
Yeah, well, now that door is really shut. Like, he screwed up, coach. He screwed up, okay?
100%.
And he has to eat shizzle, and it sucks because Bo's his guy, and that relationship is really important. But he didn't apologize to Bo either today. And when asked if Bo had anything to do with Davis Webb, he was like, no.
Could have been Jim. Could have been Steve.
Bill, Fred, Tony, who knows? Who cares? So this was kind of a little bit of a measuring contest here today. It was. Like, I'm in charge. It ain't the kid. I like the kid. It's my time. It's my time still.
He's in charge.
Yeah.
I'm still going to call some plays on game days.
Hey, all you assholes, I'm still going to call some plays on game day. Don't get ahead of yourself. I love this press conference today, Coach. I loved it. That was way better than I thought it was.
Okay, what did you love? Did you love it as Sean Payton gave out it at 10 out of 10, or you loved it as a sports talk radio host that's got content?
All of it. All of it.
So Sean Payton was a 10 out of 10.
I thought he was great.
I did too.
Because somebody's got to be, the person in charge. Okay. And that's Sean Payton.
It is.
I love that swagger. I don't need mealy mouth when it comes to a head coach. I need a guy who wants to go in a certain direction. I'm willing to fire somebody I've known for 15 years in Joe Lombardi because it ain't working out. But I am moving on.
Mealy mouth.
Mealy mouth is just, gosh, I don't want to be mean to one of our local guys. Mealy mouth, just like you hem and you haw. You're not just like
mealy mouth. Would mealy mouth have anything to be like? He's going to be.
No, no, that's different. I mean,
there's a little, and
that's not mealy mouth, but mealy mouth is
measured, right? That's measured.
Kind of. It's, boy, this reference is going to kill me. But if you watched Happy Days, the Fonz could never say I'm sorry.
Okay,
all right. He was like, I'm like, he couldn't spit it out. He couldn't ever recognize. Oh boy, bad. Look it up. Happy Days. The Fonz couldn't say I'm sorry. Like some things just you cannot spit out because it's father of the bride.
Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days.
Look it up.
Thursday.
The Fonz couldn't say I'm sorry. Henry Winkler. Anyways, that being said, from a talk show perspective, it's so juicy.
Gold.
It's gold. From
And then, of course, George Payton gets up there and gives us
Oh.
just absolutely nothing.
nothing. He's just I didn't even bother. Was there anything of note with George Payton?
I listened for
yeah.
I listened for 3.5 minutes, and
I mean, they're bringing in Mike Zimmer.
cool. I like
I
Zim.
mean-
Zim's a good dude, man.
That's a little whatever. You know, listen, George Payton is the perfect guy for Sean Payton because you need some balance. Greg Penner is the perfect owner for
Yep.
Sean Payton because you can't have Sean Payton just run everything.
Okay. But the question is, is Bo Nix the perfect quarterback for Sean Payton?
Was John Elway the perfect quarterback for Dan Reeves?
No.
Oh, really? They went to 3 Super Bowls together.
Who ended up winning the Super Bowl with John Elway?
Aha. Davis Webb. We'll see.
I'm still going to call some plays on game